Target 11 investigates a dispatch dead end. After a plan to build new dispatch centers gets canned, well, it ends up costing you millions. Target 11 is your government watchdog.
Investigator Rick Earl discovered a now defunct police plan that has a lot of you saying, what a waste.
It was supposed to revolutionize police dispatching and put more troopers on the road. But a decade later, it's done the exact opposite. Now the entire $130 million program has hit a dead end. State police built 4 of these state-of-the-art dispatching centers, including this one in Greensburg, at a cost of $32 million taxpayer dollars. Police said consolidating dispatching from 81 locations to 5 would put 173 troopers back on the road. Former State Senator Alan Kukovich remembers the push by state police and Governor Tom Ridge.
Both were saying that this was the greatest leap forward for the state police since they went from horses to cars. And,
so how can anybody not support something like that, right? I mean, this is a great thing.
It was, yeah, I mean, it was gung-ho. 2
of the centers, one in Harrisburg and another in Norristown, became operational. The other 3 never did. And now, a decade later, faced with budget cuts, state police are pulling the plug on the entire plan. As you look at this from your perspective, is this a colossal failure of government at its finest?
Well, it's certainly hard to explain. When you take a look on paper, I guess it looks pretty good to say you're going to take 81 dispatch centers and reduce them to 5.
State Representative Tim Krieger of Greensburg took office after the plan had passed.
It appears to me that no one ever anticipated and factored in the cost of operation. It's particularly 24/7 operation. So it wasn't properly vetted, I think, first of all. And I think the biggest problem I have with it is not just the economics of it, which are bad enough, but if you talk to state troopers, the system they don't think ever worked, ever could work.
At the time, troopers raised concerns about dispatchers working with such large, unfamiliar territories. Still, state police pushed on until now. The governor blamed the demise on the budget.
Frank Noonan, the commissioner of the state police, is looking to save dollars, but to provide the maximum amount of public protection as we possibly can.
A lot of times, it's easier to do new and creative things when revenues are good.
And that was the case at
that point.
Government's very good at spending other people's money, and they don't do it very well typically. I think it was obviously a mistake in retrospect, and unfortunately we need to find the other places this is happening.
4 of those 5 centers were built, but only 2 ever went online. They will now be closing down, but perhaps the only saving grace here for taxpayers is that state police say they will find other uses for those buildings. Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.
And Rick and the entire Target 11 team track down answers to your questions. That's just for you now. If you have one, email it to target11@WPXI.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter.